Welcome everybody to our topic for discussion coaching session on Zoom. Your coach Simon Thompson, and it is on last possession. So we've got a little bit of a modified rule. It isn't something you see on the TV all the time, but it is something you'll see in the SNFL. You won't see it in AFL, but you'll see it in our game, and it is last possession. And I think it adds some value. Why do you think it adds some value? David Youthenbolt, looking at you actually on the call right now in your racing car. You have to come off mute. Tell me what do you like about last possession?
It stops the deliberate out of bounds decision.
It helps us with the deliberate out of bounds. Stops that. Yep. What else? What else? Let me pick a person on the line. Always go through this. What about newcomer Bryce Smith? Bryce, what do you reckon? Last possession, having played the game and now umpiring?
It stops us having to call back boundary throw-ins more often.
Yep. Boundary throw-ins is something that can happen quite regularly. So
call back boundary throw-ins. What do you mean recall boundary throw-ins?
No, call for more boundary throw-ins. So instead of it being a boundary throw-in, it puts more strain on our boundaries. So by having last possession, it makes it easy to get the game going again rather than stoppage. That's what I'm interpreting Bryce to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bryce. But I'm never wrong. So let's move on. Darren White, what do you reckon? Also new to the panel.
Hi, Simon. Thanks for
buddy.
Thanks for taking the call.
What do you reckon, mate? Give me some gold nuggets with the last possession. Having new to the panel,
First,
what you've seen so far.
It helps the game continue to flow.
I kind of said that, didn't I? But the spirit of the laws, I thought you'd pull the spirit of the law on me, mate.
Oh, no.
What is the spirit of the law?
Keep the ball in motion.
To keep the ball in motion. You love it. That's why I picked on you, mate. I knew you'd come up with a good answer. So it gets the game going, keeps it flowing, and obviously has those many things that both Bryce and Dave Youthenbolt have mentioned. So let's now have a look at, rather than reinventing the wheel, my link for boundaries, for field, for goal that are on the call tonight. Just going to share my screen. Again, this is a link you can get from my email signature. It's something that I sent out at the start of the year. It is also at about the 10-minute 45, I think it is. We're looking on our screens. And it ties in with last possession. So on the screen, you'll see there, last possession out of bounds. The rule is last possession out of bounds, last touch. And we need to use the correct term. I should go back and use the correct term. There is a fair bit. I'll just pause that back. Let's go back a bit. Here we go. So can we use the correct term to indicate the player's last possession? Coaches help us with spectators, not our job, but let's keep everybody engaged. It's last possession out of bounds, and the rule replaces the deliberate out of bounds rule. So going forward, got a big amount of content to read out next. You can see on your screens, last position out of bounds, our interpretation or our feedback, our look from it is that a free kick will be paid when a kick or handball goes over the boundary line untouched. Okay, ball is deliberately kicked over the ground, or kicked off the ground, I should say, over the boundary line and is untouched. The ball is hit over the boundary line on the full from a ruck contest, so a throw in or a ball up. Now, we always like to, fieldies bring the ball in 5 minutes from the line, we ball it up. I have that when you've got no boundaries, but still is where a ruck contest, the player may punch the ball over the line. So here's a good one. No free kick will be paid when a throw-in take place. So we went unsure, or was accidentally kicked off the ground. Okay, so they may fumble, player fumbles it, and it goes over the boundary line. The ball is touched, fumbled, spoiled over the boundary line, or a player shepherds another player, stopping them from touching the ball. That's a tricky one for us fieldies to sort of look for, but it can happen where the ball goes over the line. We're able to see that he's clearly shepherded from another player. So again, we throw the ball in to the boundaries for that. We're obviously fieldies, we're looking to the boundaries to signal straight arm up in the air, but obviously out of bounds and full arms apart is our signal to show that it's out of bounds on the full. So it's something to bear in mind. We've got to work together as a team, and if there's we're unclear on the decision, we want to stop play as fieldies, get over there, have a quick consult with the boundaries. No shame or harm in doing that. Having a quick chat just to make sure, confident, yep, this is what happens. We're unsure, let's throw it in. So default is to then go to the throw in, all right, if there is any doubt. So I'm not sure how we're going to go with these next examples. They're video examples, but I'm going to take let's hope for the sound check on this one. Hopefully head of umpiring in the SNFL interprets these, gives an audio on the YouTube clip quite clearly. So I'll just wait for his voiceover to come on just now. So here we go, a couple of examples. So a couple of examples here where there is no free kick awarded because the ball's touched. So again, the next one is accidental. Next one, obviously having some doubt, so there's no free kick. Last one's a ball shepherd. There's no. All right, so I know that may be difficult to hear, obviously with all the Zoom and technology that we have, but just plug in my audio. Stop sharing, put my video back on. So just want to make sure. Okay, good, I'm back. So there's a couple of examples in the YouTube link, which I will share if you haven't got a copy of that, as in my email signature, and I will share in the chat right now. So you've got an aspect or a copy of that, what I'm referring to. And as I said, you've got to fast forward the clip for last possession as an example at about 10 minutes 45. So if I just put that in the chat for everybody's benefit, that there is the link there, and go to 10:45 to start with, if you fast forward that there. And then you hear some of the audio commentary around head of umpiring Shane Harris depicting the last possession, which I think explains it quite well. Other than that, last possessions, is there any questions or comments from the group that may have had some examples over the time? There's some questions we can help answer. No comments, no questions, no queries?
I got one, Simon. In the open in the girls' games on Sunday,
Yep.
a lot of the teams aren't supplying boundary umpires.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because there's a lack of volunteers on that day.
Yeah.
So the last touch rule actually helps the umpire.
Yep.
because we have to ball it up.
Yeah, where there's a clear visible, the line
Yeah,
crossing is
yeah.
hard to see, but we've got to
Yeah.
work pretty hard to get over and see some of the
That's
line
right.
markings aren't there as well,
You know.
clearly to see it.
Yep. So that's one thing I notice on Sundays doing the
So
girls.
there's a benefit in having it in the games. I agree, and you agree too, Shane. So that's a good point, good notice. Where we are struggling to gain boundary umpires, it's a challenge each week to get field boundary and goals appointed, and then obviously with the benefit of having this rule in place is it helps us to keep the game going and not be heavily reliant on having boundaries. But yep, definitely a good notice. Thank you, Shane.
Simon, do you want to clarify for everyone the shot on goal and potential miss when they're having a shot on goal? So is that deliberate out of bounds if they've had a shot at goal and the ball takes a rocket turn?
Like a miss clumsy error. Well, it's again, if it's I guess players in intent and he shanked the kick, yeah, it is still the last possession
Correct.
rule.
Yeah, thank you. Just some people were saying it wasn't and it was, but you know what I mean.
No, look, the clanger or the clumsy or the mistaken kick is more the one where, if you look on the tape, there's a South place goes to defend or get the ball and he's stopping the player from kicking for a point or trying to score a goal or whatever there, heads towards the goalpost, but it's along the ground. It's a miss kick or it's a miss, not from a set shot happening where they've actually shanked it, or even if they're on the run. Clearly got possession of it and they're kicking for goal. It's more where it's along the grounds and it's clumsy and it bumps off of it. Again, they're trying to handball into play, keeping the ball alive, front pressure. There is players that that are around it as well. Good point, Russ. That's another good one. So where we have the ability to pay that free kick, deliberate last possession aligns with it. Yeah. Cool. Any other comments, thoughts, queries about last possession? Nothing there. All right, cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to progress, close off last possession. Short, sharp, shiny, quick one, that one. We're going to